Zoom system right here. Like, I can mute, I can kick people out. He just likes to antagonize. He forgets I have the
I think
power.
what we really need on the show, we need to have some kind of intervention with you, Mike. Maybe
Why?
we put you and Derpy in the same room for I don't know, an hour and making Stu talk and say nice things to one another.
Um, you've seen Mad Max Beyond the Thunderdome, right?
No.
Two men enter, one man leave. This is what would happen. All right. Like Derpy and I would walk into that room, and then I would walk out with a big old smile on my face.
Wouldn't it be something if Derpy was the one that walked out of that room?
You know what? I'm all for it at this point. Like my body's in so much pain. Just end me now.
Yeah.
I am okay with it.
Good morning, everybody.
I'll take the L if I can get to sleep.
Welcome back to the show. This is the Two Dumb Yinzers episode 354. We weren't even on we weren't even on the air yet. We were just preparing, and Mike was already to put Derpy in timeout and send him off to the green room, but it hasn't happened yet. So let's keep our fingers crossed. I for one am
every time I do it, you yell at me.
Well, yeah. I just think it's two need to spend some quality time together.
No, we don't. Zero quality. I don't like spending quality time with anyone.
And that's why you need this. You just need this with somebody. And if Derpy becomes that person, imagine how close you could be as friends and colleagues. And
you know what? This half hour every day is good enough for me. I have enough friends in my life. I don't need more. I need less, actually. I'm trying to trim that friend list down.
Derpy, I have to ask you, with this cow, sometimes the panda, even the dog on the screen, when you blink, because it blinks, does it blink when you blink, or does it just randomly blink?
I think it just randomly blinks.
Here, try it now. Blink. Did you blink?
Yeah, like 5 times it doesn't.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I just had to get.
I think the cow itself.
Hold on, I'm gonna go back to the dog.
The dog? The avatar itself is blinking. It's like saying "help me." It's typing out Morse code because it doesn't want to be associated with Derpy. It's like "help me."
This is all I hear when I see the.
When Derpy tries to talk.
This is all I hear whenever I see Derpy's.
Is that better? There we go. We're back.
Oh, God.
Derpy's avatar.
Oh,
that's what I hear when I talk to him. You guys catch this? And I love Burger King. I love Burger King. As a matter of fact, it's always kind of.
I know what you're talking about.
I kind of always go to. It's my go-to spot. If I have a special day, if it's my birthday, whatever. Somebody asks me what I want. Burger King's kind of my go-to fast food. I like them all, but for some reason, Burger King's always been that place. Did you guys catch this one over in Thailand? In Thailand. Now, over in other countries, they do things a little different. When they have the McDonald's, the Burger Kings, our restaurants overseas, they change some things to suit their customer base. Over in Thailand,
I've seen this.
They unveiled a new burger.
I wouldn't be able to do it either.
With 20 slices of cheese and no meat. 20 slices of cheese and no meat. I like cheese as much as the next person. You know what? I love cheese. Don't get me wrong. But you got to have something else on there, right?
Yeah. That's a bit much. It's a bit much.
That's more than a bit much.
Imagine you coming home drunk and not having any food. You just kind of throw something together that's there. You get a couple of buns and put all the rest of the cheese that's in the pack. You know what I mean? It's a bizarre.
That's a big grilled cheese. Is really what it is.
Yeah,
that's like cereal with water.
Because it's yes, yeah, that's just disgusting. But I'm kind of intrigued by this because it's the cheese melted.
I don't know. It doesn't look melted in the picture, but I don't know for
that's
sure.
Weird because if it's like melted, okay, I'd give it a try to see what it tastes like as like a grilled cheese type sandwich. I'd give it a try, give it a whirl. But I don't know, man. That's just weird. I thought the story was going to a different place. Like as soon as you mentioned Burger King in Thailand, I'm like, Is this going to be appropriate for the show?
It's going to be appropriate for the show. It's going to be appropriate for Derpy.
Like I had my finger hovering over the end button. Okay, I was wondering if we were going to get in trouble here. I was like, no. Like I think for me personally, I think the story should have went the way I was hoping it would go, because like eating a cold cheese sandwich has never been appealing to me, and then we're going to throw 20 slices on top of it.
I mean, have you ever seen something and thought, my God, that's so much cheese, but I'll love it because I love cheese. And then you dig into it and you don't actually love it because it's way too much cheese.
Like, God, years ago, I was at this, it was like an Irish pub type restaurant down in Columbus. And I got this Asiago cheeseburger. I'm like, okay, some Asiago cheese on my burger. It was like you picked it up and it just come flooding out the end, and it was still on the burger. Like I had like a whole half of my plate where it like covered my fries when it came out. I was like, that's too much cheese. It was good, but it was like too much. You know,
what would you rate the burger? What would you rate the burger?
Oh, it was fire. Everything was fire. It was like 10 out of 10, but like it was just too much cheese.
Fair. What about this? Have you ever went to get a burger somewhere, and by the name of the meat, you didn't order the burger? Like Angus, for example. Angus is a weird word, and I think people are used to Angus, and they love Angus. But I know for the first couple of years when the Black Angus burger came out, I just couldn't eat it. I don't know. There's something about it sounding like black anus to me. And it was just, I know it was that. Well, where I'm getting at is I went to Arby's the other day.
What the hell is going on with this show now?
That was
where I went to this Arby's the other day, and they have a burger, but it's called a Wagyu burger.
Yeah, the Wagyu burger.
Why don't they just? I don't like
all these names. It's the type of meat. It's the type of meat, but it's the type of meat.
It's the Wagyu burger. I just want a cheeseburger, like you know what I mean? A Wagyu burger.
You're so unsophisticated.
Yes, I am.
We need to get you some culture.
People that
like I am not that. I am not
unsophisticated. That's what we do. This isn't the French.
No,
this isn't Italian. This is America. This is straight off the barbecue, straight off the grill.
Oh no, there are lots of people in America that, like, you tell them you're gonna have a Wagyu burger, they will like be like, okay, let's go.
Because that's what people say when you say things that are different. They want to seem like they know. They're in the know. Because before this Arby's, you know how many times I've heard Wagyu burger in my life? None. I've heard it none. People just like to say it. I love the Wagyu. I love the Angus.
I love Black Angus, man. Give me some Black,
which I do too. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, it's so much better than the white Angus. I don't know. Like I'm sure, like
the
white Angus. I don't know.
We're totally gonna get canceled.
Yeah,
that's fine. That's fine. We didn't talk about Ladyboys yet because I thought that's where we were going. The first stop, we went from Ladyboys to cheese to Black Angus to Black Angus.
Ladyboys.
Yeah, you said Thailand. That's what Thailand's known for, is their Ladyboys.
No,
I saw The Hangover too. I know what I'm talking about.
So there you go. I'm going to start with football today.
Start the morning, right?
There is some pirate news. I'm going to start with football today.
Football.
I want to get your thoughts on this. I found it interesting. Bill Belichick is on the hot seat if he doesn't win a playoff game this year per the Boston Globe. Meanwhile, Tomlin, who's going on 6 years without a playoff win, is about to get an extension. Which organization? What organization is doing it right? Fans. Is it the usually progressive Patriots organization, or is it the usually traditional conservative Steeler? What do you guys think about this?
I'm gonna go with.
That just tells you the difference. Sorry,
I'm gonna go with the Patriots on this one. It's a results-driven league. The NFL. What's the old saying? The NFL stands for not for long. You have to show results.
I agree.
And Bob Kraft, he's like, hey, I'm used to being like an uber competitive team. Winning it 6 times out of a 20 years. Yeah, 6 times out of 20 years. Okay, you want that now. You still have that. I think it'd be like the Steelers back in the 70s. Hey man, we won 4 out of this time period. We want more, but like the Roonies do things differently. They would like to keep on we're just gonna stay and not change coach year after year. But the Patriots, what, they had a nice long run and it's starting to not work. Sometimes it goes stale. At the end of Chuck Noll's era, was getting bad in Pittsburgh, and you had to make a move, and he retired, but he probably wanted to stay longer. And Kraft is like, Belichick's doing the same thing. It's coming to an end. All good things come to an end. You have to move on. You don't want to just keep the same thing going and going just because that's the way we've always done it. Now, should Tomlin be in the hot seat this year? No, because you just lost your Hall of Fame quarterback. You're starting over. The time if they were going to get rid of Tomlin was when Ben left. To start fresh then, but they didn't. So now you have to at least keep him around for all of Pickett's rookie contract, I would think. But I have I think the Patriots are right. It's you got to show results now, or hey, this has gotten stale. We got to change.
Derpy, what do you think? Who do you think is on the right path here? Is it New England putting Belichick on the hot seat for not producing results? And you think
I think that's just the difference of the fan bases.
What do you mean by that?
Yeah,
the Steeler fans are loyal, and
I think the Steeler fans would have had
Boston
Mike Tomlin's head on a plate
loyal.
10 years ago after the Super Bowl loss.
But we Steelers haven't won a playoff game in how many years?
6 years.
6 years. That's a long time.
And that's for the organization that they are. I mean, it's like the Yankees not
they're underachieving.
Yes.
And you can point into, you look into, you can see why they, some of the underachieving was there 1 year, like the offense didn't produce, and next year the defense didn't produce, and then there are years where it was like coaching failed them. Yeah, but also coaching has failed along the way. So
absolutely,
at some point,
you got to throw coaching in there.
Yeah, they've become stale. But like this year, we're seeing like a different Tomlin. It feels like, Ryan and I have talked. He seems
this has been a fun Tomlin. I'd like this Tomlin.
So okay, things might be turning around, but also New England, man. They've done things the same way for 20 years, and it worked, and they got results, and it tends to run its course, and it might be running its course. Take a look at other sports. Take a look at hockey. My God, how many great coaches have had short tenures because you become stale. You have to move on, and in coaching in the NFL too, you should have to move on too. It happens. Messages become stale. You become complacent, as a coach and as an organization. Sometimes you have to change it up.
Speaking of moving on,
I had a ton of success.
Speaking of moving on, we're going to stick with football just briefly here. This is not Steeler news, but this is a story that I found to be highly entertaining because I've seen the guy. You've seen the guy. We've all seen the guy. Let's face it. Chiefs super fan who dresses in full wolf costume. You see this guy? It's the guy that dresses in the full wolf costume at the Chiefs game. He was arrested on a bank robbery charge after months on the run. Feds say.
They nitpicked that at the SBs last night.
I would have suspected the guy down at the Raider game, the one with the shoulder pads and the spikes. I would have thought somebody like him would have been, on the run, but no, it's the wolf from the Kansas City fan base. Everybody knows this guy.
Yeah, Chiefaholic, man. This thing has been like it's been like an epic drama with what's going on with him. I've been following along online, especially thanks to a PFT commentator. You follow his Twitter. It is just, he's all over.
Maybe Big Dog from up in Cleveland.
Yeah, I think I think the Kelsey brothers might be involved in this some way or the other. I think they should be investigated. And while they're being investigated, I think it should take the whole NFL season so both of them are suspended.
Yeah.
At least going to have any competitive advantage for the rest of the league.
I don't care too much about the guy in Philadelphia, to be honest. I see just Travis Kelce.
I think Travis, he's the mastermind behind it. So we got to suspend him while we're doing the investigation. See what connections have we ever seen Chiefsaholic and Kelce together at the same time? That's all I'm saying.
No.
That's all I'm saying.
Let's talk some baseball, guys.
I actually have two things that just happened
in
football.
What's that?
It was just small stories. Malik Jackson just retired.
Okay.
Oh, from up in the Cleveland. Yep. He called it a career.
And this is in college football. I guess Tennessee's paying to not be banned.
I saw that. Yeah. Their coach, he's being suspended, and the university's paying a fine, so that way they don't. Yeah, they don't
lose on the bowl games.
Lose out on bowl games and scholarships. Yeah.
That was just something small that I just saw. That's all.
All right. We're going to jump over to baseball a little bit. The Pirates, they host the Giants tonight, game 1 of 3 at 7:05 tonight. The matchup, which we're going to talk about this gentleman in just a moment. Rich Hill is on the mound against Ross Stripling. Rich Hill is 7-9 with a 4.78, 91 strikeouts on the season. And Stripling over on the Giants is 0-2, which hopefully is a good thing for us, with a 6.37 and 34 Ks on the season. Pirates are currently sitting in 4th place, 8.5 games out of 1st place. Reds are in 1st. Brewers are a game out. Cubs are 7 games out. Of course, the Pirates are 8.5, and the Cardinals bringing up the rear with 11.5 games. Cardinals are
They're
starting
selling
off.
at the deadline.
What's that?
The Cardinals are selling at the deadline for sure.
Cardinals are going up against the Nationals to start off the second half of the season. The Buccos against the Giants, of course. The Cubs are taking on the Red Sox. And the Brewers and the Reds are back at it. They went at it right before the break. This is I don't know if this is such a big series, but, you're going to have the 2 top teams from the division going at it again this week, the Reds and the Brewers. So if the Pirates are going to start making any moves, in any capacity, it's going to be coming soon, whether they spice it up and start getting a little bit better, or they just tank and sell at the end of the month. We will see. There's only a couple weeks left. Dodgers, get this. I don't know if you guys caught this. The Dodgers are interested in Rich Hill and Austin Hedges. Yes, the Dodgers are interested in Rich Hill and Austin Hedges. I love this. I love this.
What do they even have to offer, though?
You know what? Who cares?
At this point, I don't care.
I'll take the 20 slice cheeseburger for these guys at this point.
Exactly. I'll take whatever we can get for them. Yeah. Take Rich Hill, take Austin Hedges. Oh my God. If they would do this, does Ben Sherrington have something on that GM? That's the only reason I would make that trade.
Yeah. So,
oh my God.
I think ultimately they're trying to get one of the guys, one of the young bucks behind the plate. Ultimately, is the long-term plan. And if they start selling, and you know what, it's crazy because we're selling and we're getting rid of Rich Hill and Austin Hedges. I mean, that's not the worst thing in the world. But the one name that I did raise some eyebrows for me and a lot of people here is the rumor David Bednar. David Bednar might also be on the block.
Yeah, that's huge.
Well, here's the thing: if the team stinks and they sell, let's say they're this time next month they're 15 games out of 1st place. What do you do? What do you do with a David Bednar? Do you trade him, or do you seriously attempt to keep building your team, which I think has been the Pirates' downfall for many years? Yes, you could become a seller, but on the other hand, I mean, you have an all-star closer, and if you're going to continue to build after this season and move forward, what's the right move with David Bednar? Let's just say the Pirates are 15 games out of 1st place this time next month. What would you do, Mike, with David Bednar?
I'm keeping him. I'm keeping him.
I would keep him too,
because you go back through all the trades that have been involved where we've traded a closer. Just reading an article about this today. We got no one.
Yeah,
in the bullpen, we got you traded for the people we got back were bums, and the best we did was trading some guy who had 10 saves. We ended up getting O'Neal Cruz. We just took a flyer on this 18-year-old kid. But so out of the 7 or 8 trades that were on there, we got one guy. We don't have a good track record of it. And if you think, okay, going into next year, this team will improve, keep him around.
Otherwise, you're telling me you don't.
Yeah. Otherwise, you
care about improving.
Yeah, it's going to be kicking the can down the road once again. It's going to be, the same old. We got a good player. We can get something for. We can get a prospect. We can sell the future. You're just kicking the can down the road.
It's unbelievable the process that just keeps happening over and over with this team. It really is.
Yeah, he's signed for the next 3 seasons. I think after this year, he has, the next 3 seasons after this year, or at least the next 2. Keep him. Then at the end, if you need to trade him to get another missing piece, because maybe you have someone who can take over that closing role, and you can trade him for a veteran player to help the team get over the hump and, win. You hold on. quit trading for prospects. Hold on to these guys. See if you
Prove
can
to
win.
your
If you
fan
can't
base
win,
that
yeah,
you plan on moving beyond where we're at right now.
yeah.
Um,
It's weird.
it is weird. It's gonna be interesting to see how this plays out. Of course, over the next month, we're gonna start seeing how this plays out. I hope the Pirates come out and with a different mindset in the second half, maybe a little bit like the mindset that they came out with in April. I tell you this, they play Cleveland on Monday, so we got the Giants through the weekend.
Bieber's on the table. Just saying.
We got Cleveland on Monday. I think Mitch Keller is going to be going up on Monday because it looks like Oviedo and Obito follows up Rich Hill. So it looks like Mitch Keller will definitely be pitching against the Cleveland Guardians. And then after that, I can't recall who it was, but I don't think the games. I think Arizona maybe. You have the schedule up in front of you by any chance, Mike?
I am currently pulling that up.
But here's one cool thing about Monday's game. If you are going down to see the Cleveland Guardians come to Pittsburgh, Wiz Khalifa will be at the stadium throwing out the first pitch. Of course, him and Snoop Dogg and company are in town this weekend for their big tour, their high school reunion tour, I believe it's called. So if you want to see Wiz down at the stadium, come down Monday, see him throw out the first pitch against Cleveland.
Right. Yeah, we got the San Francisco, then Cleveland, then we're at LA, at San Diego.
At LA Dodgers. Is it a 3 or 4?
No, LA Angels. 3 games.
That's right.
3 games at the Angels. Yeah.
That's right.
That's tough.
And then who's after LA?
LA
Padres.
Padres.
Yeah, a little
so you got a
swing.
That's a tough gauntlet there.
You have a hurt Angels team. Of course, Mike Trout's out for the rest of the season. The Padres, I'm pretty sure we swept them when we played them last time. Cleveland's just about as good as we are. Maybe the San Francisco series. I mean, we could steal one. Get 2 games maybe on this team. But like I said, I think we're gonna get a look real early on what we're gonna have for the Pirates the rest of the year. You only have a month now. It isn't like you could get hot in the last 3 weeks of the season and get it, because if you sell, you sell.
You're done if you sell.
You're done. So there you have it. 28 days from the first preseason game for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I can't wait. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. One thing that these guys said the other day when we were getting off the air that they kind of, I ain't gonna lie, kind of gave me chub.
Yeah.
That Aaron Donald rumor.
It may or may not happen. It may or may not.
May or may not happen, of course. But what would you truly give up for Aaron Donald?
Oh God.
That's the question.
Would you give up a player and a high draft pick?
If you're going all in, if you think this team is Super Bowl or bust, you give up whatever you want. You give up whatever. If you have to give up a first, give up a second, you do it. If you think this team is good enough to get to the Super Bowl, or if
you give up Cam Hayward,
I give up Cam Hayward. Take him.
You give up Cam Hayward,
Yeah.
A Cam Hayward, a second and a fifth next year.
I would do it. Just get Cam Hayward off the team. That way we'd actually have a real leader on the team, someone who actually takes accountability on the team.
I just thought, wow, how awesome that would be if Aaron Donald would land here. And, and a lot of things that I'm reading, it is rumors, of course, and as Derpy says, it may or may not happen. But, he does have strong ties there, not only being where he's from, but also where he played his college ball in the same facility where the Pittsburgh Steelers are at. So, it would be an interesting fit. I think people would just go crazy. People go crazy. There would be Aaron Donald shirts sold like hotcakes around here.
The question is the contract, but I know the Rams will suck though. So
yeah, that's the thing. Like he has a pretty big contract, and you would have to move, because if you want to re-sign Highsmith like they want to, you got to have money for that. So you got to move stuff around. But the only way I'm making that trade is, okay, Aaron Donald's that missing piece. He's been there. He's done that. He's a true champion, unlike everyone else on this team.
We will be super.
I would make him a defensive player of the year. He was on a Super Bowl team. I mean, the guy was. But he's been a superstar since day one. I mean, even though his numbers have fallen,
him and TJ, we will win a Super Bowl.
His numbers have fallen compared to people like TJ Watt.
Yes,
you would love to have a guy like this on your team. How can you not?
There's too many questions. I would love to have them, but there's too many question marks on this team to where
Yeah.
you're like,
Too many question marks on this team?
Yeah. Quarterback, running back, wide receiver,
We don't have
offensive
questions
line,
on quarterback,
defensive line,
running back,
inside linebacker. Yes, we do.
No,
we have
we
a lot of question marks.
No, we don't.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
No, we don't.
No,
If you look at it objectively, yes, we do.
I'm looking at it
There's
objectively, and
there's a lot of question marks.
I disagree.
They're really unproven players.
That's full, Mike. That's sports. Come on, man.
But
you
no,
take these
because
digs, but this is all over the place. This is
no,
32 teams in the NFL.
Yeah, every team has question marks.
30 teams in baseball.
There's a reason we picked we had the 17th overall pick in the draft. We didn't make the playoffs. There's question marks on this team.
Like, we haven't made a play. We haven't won a playoff game in 6
The only
years.
two question marks we have.
The question mark 7 years ago was our Hall of Fame quarterback.
Yeah, we have question marks. We have question marks.
The coaching has been terrible on this team for a long time, and I think people are afraid to address this because they don't want to have this. They don't want to have this issue
the quarterback
with Mike Tomlin, and they don't want to have this debate with Mike Tomlin because it gets ugly and people either hate him or they love him. And let's go to where the sources really are. Let's go to where the sources really are with this offensive coordinator.
It's Matt Canada.
The coach needs the coaching on both sides
who's
of the
Bengals? Who's the Bengals offensive coordinator?
I have no idea who anybody for
Exactly. It's not the offensive coordinator's fault. It's the play. A lot of it comes down to players.
Did you watch any games last year?
I did. I watched, wide open receivers that open, not being thrown the ball. I don't think
you're insane because
don't throw to the open
here's
receiver.
The thing. You're going to take one play that you remember here that didn't go well, or another play there that didn't go well. But the plays where the wide receivers were dropping wide open passes.
Yeah.
Quarterbacks throwing bad balls.
Mike, okay, so you have 3 different quarterbacks. They're all terrible. Nobody can throw a ball. Okay, so let's just assume
none
of these 3 professional quarterbacks can throw a football. Okay.
Yeah, did I say that? No, I said
you did. You did say that.
No, I said they
have a receiver.
Bad
your
passes.
number one receiver can't even get into the end zone. Let alone he can't even catch a ball. And if he does catch the ball, he runs 30 yards backwards. Mike,
he got into the end zone fine with a quarterback whose arm was held together by duct tape and chicken wire.
It's funny he didn't last year and everybody else did.
Yeah, well, when he had a bad quarterback.
Why did everybody else get in the end zone?
We barely got into the end zone. We threw like 11 touchdowns last year. That's bad.
You want to pull up the list and see
the wide receiver we traded had more touchdowns.
And Deontay Johnson didn't. Can we look that list up? I want to see all the quarterbacks. I want to see all the quarterbacks that received touchdowns last year. Go ahead and pull that up.
Quarterbacks who
please.
I'm not looking at there were quarterbacks who caught touchdowns due to trick plays and they got open.
Mike, please.
It's not Deontay Johnson's fault that his quarterback could not get him
last year.
I'm not pulling that up. There's quarterbacks who, yes,
you're not going to do this.
There are if you would stop
give me the list,
listen.
Mike. Would you stick with the subject, please? Give me the receivers.
You're bouncing all over the place. I said,
Mike, I'm asking you the same question over and over and over.
I said,
can you please pull up the list that shows the receivers that caught touchdowns from the Steelers last year?
You have multiple computers in front of you. You can look it up. You want to pull up the information?
Okay, all right, everybody. Well, hey, we do have to get wrapping this up.
Mike, someone lost an argument, has to go cry.
Mike, it's time to. You couldn't do a simple task.
You couldn't do it. You can do it. You're sitting right there. You're the one who wants to know.
Mike, I asked you.
It's not that hard.
Thank you.
It's not that hard. It's not that hard. All I said was this team has.
The show is over, Mike. It's time to go.
No, I'll decide when the show's over. I have the button right here that can end it or not.
Okay, everybody.
All right.
All I said was, this team has question marks, and you get defensive anytime anyone says anything about the quarterback being a question mark. And then you went off on a tangent. I just said there's question marks on this team.
I just kept asking you for the same favor, and you couldn't perform that task. Now it's time to wrap it up. Let's.
I'm sorry. You don't. I'm sorry. You have computers in front of you too. You could have looked it up too. I was still making an argument as well.
All right. Let's. Mike, we got to go. Come on. I got things to do.
I got things to do too. I had things to do earlier.
All right. Come visit the website, www.2Yinzers.com. All kind of cool things over there that you could check out. There's links to all the shows. There's information. There's a bunch of cool stuff. Go check it out, www.2Yinzers.com. We're going to wrap up today with a San Francisco Giant trivia question. The Giants, or who the Pirates are playing tonight. So we are going to go into some Giants questions. This is a pretty cool one, I think. Derpy, are you confident with your abilities to answer a San Francisco Giants question?
Maybe. All right, here we go. What other team moved to California the same year
as the Giants did? What year? What other team moved to California the same year the Giants did? The guys are going to think that over for a minute. We'll get right back to them. And do also check us out. We are on 7 days a week right here, 11:30 a.m. That's 7 days a week, Monday through Sunday. And a show that we do fresh, brand new every day gets uploaded over on Spotify in podcast form. If you just want to listen to it in podcast, maybe that's what you prefer. Go check it out every day of the week. A brand new show gets uploaded on Spotify and podcast. Go check it out. All right, back to the trivia of the day.
Ryan.
What other team moved to California the same year as the Giants? I could give you a year if that would help.
Yeah, give me a year.
The year is 1958.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, I know.
You want choices? Let me give you choices just because there's five
It's
teams
easy.
in
I know what it
California.
is.
There's 5 teams in California, and I'm going to give you the 5 of them.
Okay.
So the Giants is the team, obviously. Is it A, the Padres, B, the Dodgers, C, the Angels, or D, the Oakland A's? Again, we're looking for the team that moved to California the same year that the Giants did. Derpy, I'm going to start with you.
Ooh.
Who do you think moved to California the same year that the Giants did? Was it the Padres, the Dodgers, the Angels, or the A's?
I'm gonna go Dodgers.
You're going to go Dodgers. Is that your final answer?
Yep.
All right, we're going to lock Derpy in with the Dodgers. Mike, who was the other team that moved to California the same year? 1958, we're looking. The Padres, the Dodgers, the Angels, or the A's?
The team formerly known as the Brooklyn Dodgers.
The Brooklyn Dodgers. And is that your final answer?
Final answer.
All right, we're all locked in here. Question of the day. What other team moved to California the same year as the Giants from New York? Was it A, the Padres, B, the Dodgers, C, the Angels, D, the A's? That was confusing. D, the A's. The answer, of course, was B, the Brooklyn Dodgers. You guys were correct. The New York Giants and the Brooklyn Dodgers the same year moved from New York to California. So
You learn something every day.
learn something every day.
If
I
you
can't
don't know
believe
baseball,
California
though.
has 5 baseball teams. I never really put that much
insane.
thought into that.
That's-
5? How, geez.
There's a huge ass state.
Even a place like New York that's so, population wise,
This is
they don't have,
huge.
but a couple teams, and they don't even play in New York.
Brian.
Yo.
Before you close out, do you want to announce what we have for a special treat?
Well, we do. We're going to announce this, I think, beginning of next week, because I still have to talk it over, and we got to talk it over amongst the crew and find out some details. But yes, we will be touching on that next week. Of course, everybody knows that camp starts 13 days from now. Pittsburgh Steelers camp, 28 days from the first preseason game, and 58 days. 58 Jack Lambert days from opening kickoff against the 49ers. Derpy, do you got anything before we take off?
Carson Palmer wore the same number as Joe Burrow. So there you go.
You did what?
Carson Palmer wore the same number as Joe Burrow. So
all right, Mike.
Zach Wilson had one receiving touchdown last year.
Okay.
That's the only one I can find.
Zach Wilson.
Try to put a nice little bow on the episode.
Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson's Jet.
Yeah, he had a receiving touchdown, a rushing touchdown, and I think a passing touchdown. I can't find who had most receiving touchdowns by QB in 2022. This is coming up. Zach Wilson.
All right, there you go, everybody. Zach Wilson
and Zach Wilson, the Cougar Hunter.
That's what I like about this guy.
I hate you.
Briefly before we leave, the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. The other day we didn't get to talk about it. They beat Louisville City 1-0 on Wednesday. This was a rematch from a couple weeks ago whenever that game finished in a 0-0 tie. This is the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. They play Detroit this weekend. This is 7:00 Saturday. If you're following these Pittsburgh Riverhounds here, the soccer in Pittsburgh. So still looking good, Mike.
looking good, man. I think they're gonna win the whole damn thing.
I hope so. That'd be something, you know.
They better. Pittsburgh needs a win.
We need some
Yeah,
wins.
Pittsburgh needs
Yes,
something.
yes. We need some wins here. We need some big wins. We haven't had a big win in forever. All right, everybody. Well, hey, we do thank you for checking us out. As always, we appreciate each and every one of you. For Derpy, Mike, myself, the two Dumb Yinzers, everybody.